Hello there, people of the internet. I got a comment a little while ago on one of my videos, and the commenter ended up saying, a bullet is a bullet, and then he decided to call me some slurs. So we're going to go ahead and leave out the slurs, and we're just going to look at the topic that a bullet is a bullet, because of course any bullet will kill you. Well, yeah, I mean, proper shot placement, basically every bullet out there that's modern day can kill a human. But that being said, there are a lot of differences between bullets. As a matter of fact, like bullet selection for hand loaders is a huge deal, because a bullet being a bullet does not mean that all bullets are going to be equivalent. For the most part, people are going to be utilizing things like this. This is a Full Metal Jacket round, and Full Metal Jacket rounds come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. These are rifle rounds, that's 8mm Mauser. These are a couple of handgun rounds that I have sitting on standby. If I managed to get in this package. Why was that so difficult? Full Metal Jackets also come in handgun cartridges. There's a tremendous amount of different ammunition that is out there, but for the most part, Full Metal Jackets are what basically most people are going to be finding and using. They got intermediate rifle cartridges. This here's some 223, 5.56, also in just standard Full Metal Jacket. But guess what? Full Metal Jacket, what that does, mostly, for the most part, is it just kind of pokes a hole in something. If you are firing at a gelatinous, soft target, a Full Metal Jacket will poke a hole through it, depending on the thickness of the target and depending on the velocity of the projectile. I know the 223 5.56 that'll kind of like fragment and break apart upon impact, but it's designed to do that. But for the most part, a Full Metal Jacket round will just kind of poke a hole inside of something. Depending on velocity and energy transfer, you might get a temporary wound cavity and a temporary stretch cavity and a permanent wound cavity. That might be more significant than the actual hole being poked. But a Full Metal Jacket does not transfer nearly as much energy onto a soft target as some other styles of projectile do. I actually ran an experiment on my YouTube channel, you can go watch it right now, where I had Full Metal Jackets and I had soft points, and I decided to see which would transfer more energy onto a water jug, and the Full Metal Jacket from a rifle literally just poked a hole right through it because there was not much surface area for energy transfer. That being said, you increase your bullet capabilities to a soft point, and that soft point is designed to expand and flare out upon impact on whatever gelatinous target it is you're firing at. So that soft point is going to increase its surface area, thus dramatically increasing the amount of energy transfer that you're going to have onto your target. So the difference just in these two like very mainstream bullet designs, Full Metal Jackets and soft points, the difference in energy transfer is like insane. You could take two identical weight, identical velocity projectiles and fire them at your target, and if it's like a gelatinous water-based target, then you're going to see a significant difference in energy transfer. That being said, if you have a target that is, I don't know, maybe it's concrete, you're shooting at a concrete wall, or you're shooting at something you have to penetrate or something like that, a Full Metal Jacket round, especially if it has a steel core inside of it, will do much better at penetrating whatever it is you're looking to punch through than a soft point will, simply because these right here are pointed, traveling very fast, and if they have a steel core inside of them, then that steel core is going to be much stronger and hold together much better than, say, a lead soft point. So that's another discrepancy in bullet construction. Steel core versus lead core. If you're trying to poke through something, steel core is absolutely the way to go. So just in those like three examples, that's already significant differences that you're going to see whenever it comes to a bullet not just being a bullet. And we're going to take that even further. If you want to penetrate even more, I have no idea what these actually are, but I do know that silver tip in some instances means AP rounds. So if you have to penetrate through some decently thick steel or armor or a vehicle of some kind, Having something that has a hardened steel core or perhaps even a different material like a tungsten core will do much, much, much better at achieving that job of penetrating through whatever solid material it is you're trying to penetrate through than something like a soft point would. If you are going up against an armored target or something like that, hitting it with a soft point would not be ideal, but smacking it with a couple of AP rounds would probably solve that job. So, yeah, that's another huge discrepancy whenever it comes to the type of bullet that you're deciding to use. Or, what about this right here? This right here is tracer rounds. These are 7.62 by 54 rimmed tracer rounds, yellow tip. And these right here will be really good at starting a fire if you decide to shoot these at paint cans, propane, gasoline, potentially oil drums. I haven't tried that one though. But if you shoot at anything flammable with a full metal jacket and you don't like get a spark off of concrete or something like that, then it's not going to ignite. Just because you shoot it with a round does not mean that you're going to have ignition. But if you hit it with a tracer round, which has a burning compound inside of it, very similar to that of like a road flare, then you will have significantly higher chances of actually lighting that target on fire. Or, you might shoot this at a tree and start a forest fire. So if you're not wanting a fire, maybe stay away from the tracer rounds and look more at full metal jackets. Another huge, huge discrepancy whenever it comes to bullet design. Now that's just the rifle cartridges. Let's have a look at some handgun cartridges that I have laying around here. I have a bunch of different 38 special hand loads in this thing. And for the most part, 38 special, there's a lot of similarities but a lot of differences. If you have a 38 special that is just a full metal jacket round nose, these right here just poke holes in things. 38 special does not have a whole lot of velocity or energy transfer behind it. And all that these rounds do is poke holes in things. Ask me how I know. I have shot plenty of them. But then you go get yourself something like a soft lead round. This right here deforms on its target and it transfers. It transfers tremendous amounts more energy onto that target since the bullet deforms and expands than the full metal jacket does. The full metal jacket just goes through and through without much energy transfer. But this right here, with its deformation of the bullets and the increase of surface area, likely would transport all of its energy onto its target, and the target would have that bullet still inside of him because the bullet would not have energy to be able to transfer beyond that. Now, of course, there's other kinds of bullets that would do pretty similar things. That's a soft point round. Let's look at a hollow point round. I got a hollow point 38 special right here. This is specifically designed to expand upon impact with a gelatinous target, thus increasing the surface area and thus increasing the amount of power that is going to be transferred, the amount of energy that's going to be transferred onto your target. Now, of course, these right here are handgun rounds, and of course handgun rounds are going to automatically have significantly less power than your rifle rounds, and that's another huge discrepancy. These right here are, well, some of these are like 148 grain projectiles that are, in 38 special. They might be 158 if memory serves me right. Not quite sure on that one. But either way, they're around that 150 grain mark. But if I were to grab something else that was also around a 158 grain, this is a 148 grain. These right here are 7.62 by 54 rimmed. About the same weight bullet, but boy oh boy, one of these is very different from a 38 special. So that's another huge discrepancy between a bullet and a bullet. So very, very similar in weight, 158 grain versus 148 grain. But boy, that's going to be dramatically different energy transfers because those are dramatically different velocities and dramatically different bullet designs. One of the main reasons why, for the most part, the gun community inspires people to get themselves some sort of defensive round is because these defensive rounds are designed to expand on a soft target, thus increasing the surface area and energy transferred onto that soft target and decreasing the likelihood of having over-penetration. This way you get maximum energy transfer onto your target so you can put that target down as fast as possible and you don't have to worry about hitting little Susie beyond your target. Bottom line, a bullet is not a bullet. A bullet, like, there's so many differences in bullet construction and bullet design, and they do so many different things. A full metal jacket from a 9mm will not do the same things as like a full metal jacket from an 8mm Mauser. Like a 115 grain projectile will not do the same things as a 124 grain projectile, especially if that 124 grain is a defensive round that's designed to expand. Your bullet selection makes a difference, a huge difference. So that was my little rant for the day. I think I'm done. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I will see you guys on the next episode.
Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.